Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Bitcoin and the altcoins. We're gonna see all together in one video, and we're gonna see analyze the market here, what we are expecting still for the crypto market in the next days and the next move. So starting with Bitcoin on the channeling here, as you can see, the price is still inside the channel ranging, and we broke, of course, the base channel middle line here, and we are in the upper part of it, so we're very close to the top here. We might find, of course, some resistance over there, but in case we break it, you can expect here something to really push toward the upside, that it might be here a potential. And A, B, and a C, of course, in case we get a resistance and we push toward the downside, or we might be in a kind of like a diagonal A, B, and a C in case we break it later on, or it is a double 1-2 and a massive wave 3 toward the upside. We're gonna see this in more details, and this all those scenario will explain, of course, the difference between the shallow bear market and the deep bear market. The deep bear market right now, we are very far from it, guys. So it's very far to think about it, and that because of the 1-to-1 fib level taken there inside the base channel. We're again inside it, and we're ranging in the even in the upper part. We didn't get a continuation for an impulse, so it's the last thing that we can think about right now is, of course, a deep bear market, 50k, 30k. However, yeah, I know there is a lot of bears here also that they would like to see, of course, a cheap price for Bitcoin, but this is not gonna happen so far, guys, right now. It might be, of course, very likely that we are pushing here in a potential sideways, or I would say shallow bear market, in different probabilities, which are the following. The first probability that we are into it, and we might test, of course, for the next days, is this shallow correction there that we might still get here as a potential ABC or WX wave Y, meaning double zigzags, yeah, with an X in between, and then getting another move toward the downside here, which can make it like a large WX and a wave Y. Now, why I doubt this scenario so much? Because it's full with WX and Ys, which is starting from this area here with your W. So your W is already a W, X, and a wave Y. All of them are 3-3-3 structure. Then if we get an X again, W, X, and a wave Y, again, another W, X, and Y inside an X. So I doubt it so much, guys. Okay, so it's already invalidated so far, because this is very rare to happen, and I believe like it might happen maybe with one wave, like one W might be WX and Y, but like the W and the X both to be internally WX and Y, that is not possible. So therefore, very low probability. Higher probability that we might push for higher. Otherwise, you might be in something also as a sideways, that it can turn into something as a triangle, which I don't see the pattern anymore, because for a triangle, we broke the high. And this was our confirmation for higher, breaking, of course, outside of the bullish zone here for a breakout. So therefore, the highest probability left here for Bitcoin is to push toward the upside in a wave B. This wave B as a regular flat can be, of course, 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to reach, of course, this zone area. Minimum requirement for a wave 2 is a 0.3856k. Now, it can be, of course, also a probability that the market becomes very bullish, meaning wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, only for wave A, then getting wave B, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again, reaching this zone area 1.23, 1.38 taken from the A to the B to the C here, expanding flat, meaning the wave 2 here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, and a C, coming back exactly as the same area required for a wave 2 correction before we push massively towards the 200k and above. Now, currently, because of the micro level, the highest probability can be, of course, for this wave B. However, I'm still watching what's gonna happen in this base channel. The confirmation for a wave B in a large regular flat should be given once we get out of the base channel, guys. If we don't get out of the base channel, that means we might still be pushing toward the downside. You need to understand here also something in the channeling. So the channeling are very, very important because it gives always confirmation. A confirmation whether you push really toward the downside impulsively or you're pushing uh, in a reversal. Now the base channel, once broken, when you break out of it, like you break out from the opposite side, meaning as reversal, that is a signal of a reversal. Your base channel is invalidated. Of course, we remove it. Yeah, we remove it once we break it. The same as it happened here. Basically, this is not necessarily to have anymore, but just an indication that we are in a correction. Yeah, we break out. We are in a correction. Now the same should happen here. If the price keep ranging here, it might be the scenario again, something as a sideways or WXNY, which is also lower probability for me as per the internal price. If we break it from the lower part, that means you are impulsive. Simply, we are in the deep bear market. Therefore, the price is still, of course, ranging right now inside this base channel, meaning the resistance is very close that we might get one, and then probably pushing for high again as an ABC because this is a diagonal ABC. Probably even WXNY, and then pushing down. Higher probability can be the ABC, yeah, so kind of like a regular flat. So rather than having high wave A, the wave A is finished, wave B, and you might get a wave C somehow like this. So yeah, we'll see, guys, if this is going to happen, but very likely that we are still here looking for higher prices since we are inside the base channel, even on the upper side, and very close to hit that resistance over there. Now, if we dive inside it on the 1 hour chart, we can see that this potential A, B, and a C can be very likely unfolding there. Let me push here we go. So we have an A, B, and a C finished as a potential W, another wave as an X, and another wave Y is required here as a zigzag. However, I doubt it a little bit because again, this might represent an X here. Yeah, so I doubt W, X, and a Y inside an X again. Yeah, so this is a problem. Higher probability can be for the A, B, and a C. The wave C should be a 1, 2, and then wave 3 here. Wave 4 can still be possible, and a wave 5, meaning this is also an invalidation point to be watched, of course, for the bullish. Meaning, if the price comes back to exactly this price here, 69K237, that means, of course, the impulse is invalidated. We cannot think about ABC anymore. So far, what we got here is a 3 ways down, 3 ways up, not a finished impulse, by the way. So it is a very likely an expanding flat. Now can be turned into a running flat since you might have here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, I still doubt this wave 5 even. I'm going to dive inside it. But if this is a running flat, like 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 waves fail to take the low, this is, of course, a running flat, and we push for higher. Now, when it comes to push for higher, you start to seek here for an impulse. Now, everything is simply overlapping there. So it's not really looking perfect, I would say, for something impulsive. You went back, of course, towards the zone 1. Otherwise, 1, 2, 1, 2 also is very hard. This is not looking, again, a perfect impulse. But, I mean, it can be like 3 ways up. Yeah, so 3 ways down, 3 ways up, W, X, and Y, and you push down. That means because of this here, well, which I somehow doubt it a little bit, but still can be very likely finished impulse like 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 can be, well, but on the 1 hour chart, you can see simply here kind of like a 3 waves, right? So yeah, we gotta be careful with it. However, the latest price, I would say, from today is not looking perfect as an impulse. Yes, it is looking for higher, but it doesn't show up like this confidence to push really toward the upside, guys. So, by all means, right now, since we didn't took the low, and we're still looking corrective here, not perfect as an impulse, and we still see weaknesses in the top over there, that means we might be in an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, wave C. This is my highest probability right now. Okay, this is my highest probability, still requiring here potentially, even if you are in this wave one, let's say, okay, let's say the impulse is finished like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. ABC can serve also as a wave two. Another probability, if we are in a 1, 2, massive wave three, or let's say all of this is your wave three, this is your wave four still unfolding, and probably still need as well to finish this wave C, which it serve in both case scenario, in the wave two, or in case we are in a 1, 2, 3 here. Let's say this is your impulse, kind of like one, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, something like this, just to finish wave three, and then A, B, and a C wave four, and wave five, hitting the 1 to 1, hitting wave C, meaning finished A, B, and a C. So this is my highest probability, honestly, that I see right now for Bitcoin. So in both case scenario, whether wave two or a wave four, five, both might hit, of course, this target and might reach the 71K or 72K, let's say. At least taking the low, yeah. I still see this low to be taken. This is what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Even not necessarily to hit exactly this area, but still need to take the low. Yep. So this is regarding Bitcoin, guys. Yeah, I'm still not yet confident to say, okay, it's full bullish. Um, I see some weaknesses with the pump towards the upside today. I wouldn't call it even a pump here. Yeah, so something is not really looking great, I would say. Yeah, so for bullish yet. But in a macro level, when we look at the channeling and the daily and so on, it looks like still in a good position for the bulls. Yeah, so this is the idea. But on the micro level, no, not yet, guys. Something is going on, and of course, we might still need a low before we push toward the upside. This is regarding Bitcoin, guys. Let's see Ethereum. I'm gonna just make a quick updates here for the 1 hour chart as well for Ethereum. So basically, if we are bullish now, what is good for Ethereum is that we broke out, of course, out of this area, the bullish area that we needed, of course, as a break. Why? Because once you take this high here, you have recorded or registered a third high. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This is your third high, creation of a 5 waves toward the upside, meaning can be considered already a wave A, and then you're looking for wave B and a wave C toward the upside. Is this as a wave B? Yes, can be very likely. Yeah, that we are looking for 0.38, pushing for higher. We were testing this area, by the way, and we got a signal of strands. However, internally today, this doesn't look like a something as a perfect for the bulls. Okay, so it doesn't look like a an impulse or a diagonal or something as a multiple wave. It looks like a correction, meaning yes, very likely that we continue toward the downside at any time, at least as an A, B, and a C here. Now, can be an expanding flat the same as Bitcoin? Yes, it can be finished even because we got the 5 waves taking the low perfectly as an impulse. So that means that W, X, potential wave Y. The wave Y might be a zigzag here and then pushing toward the upside later on. This is the highest probability. Now, of course, there are many probabilities for bullish where you have 1, 2, 1, 2, potentially another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would like to see that explosion because this is a wave three. This is your 1, 2, and the wave 3/3 should explode, guys. Okay, this is not a signal of a wave 3/3 again. So I would say something is going on. Then we still need a deeper correction and then potential ABC or a large wave 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 bull run for a new all-time high. Now let's talk bearish. In the bearish, you still required here one more leg even toward the upside, which is already bullish, right? On the micro level, meaning W, X, wave Y as a zigzag is still required. However, of course, don't trust it so much always as a W, X, and a Y because, yeah, the wave Y can be even a W, X, and a wave Y. Now, why? I don't know why. But it might be, of course, a triangle, for example, and then pushing toward the downside. Okay, meaning not taking the high. However, because it is kind of like an impulse that it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 can be also a possible zigzag, A, B, and a C. So, yeah, things are still, of course, not clear. Even in this case scenario, you might require, of course, a proper correction, guys. So I don't see now the answer is given today. Yeah, is given already today because if this is your low for the structure impulsive, we're still corrective here. Okay, we're still corrective. We don't have anything impulsive, no motive waves, no signal of strands. So yeah, things are still, of course, news and news again. The war is gonna lead the market, but at the end, of course, we have our probabilities, we have our targets, and yeah, I mean, if the things push bullish, which is higher probability again, because we already broke out here and we're looking in a good momentum, I would say, for the bullish. It's still very likely, yes, to continue the trend, but currently it's still correcting on the micro level, guys. So trade safe with it. Yep, so this is regarding Ethereum. We're gonna push for Solana. Solana on the 1 hour chart as well. Well, I would say that is a massive drop. So Solana didn't took even the bull breakout area here. It's still showing a lot of weakness. We're still in the triangle probability. I don't like it. And this is looking somehow as an expanding diagonal or something like this, meaning if we are bullish here, you need a push towards the upside, which makes it one as an ABC, of course, zigzag. You're looking for wave two, and then wave three as another zigzag, and then wave four, and then a final zigzag as an expanding diagonal wave C, meaning an A, B, and a C. However, very rare case scenario, we cannot count on it, and it doesn't look really strong as a signal, of course, for strength here. It lack of it so much, right? And we didn't visit even this area. So we cannot think about bullish in Solana yet. And this drop, of course, impulsive toward the downside. I don't see any kind of an expanding flat. This looks like a perfect impulse finished, meaning it looks for me like a W, X, and a wave Y finished here. Yeah, W, X, and a Y. And that means here very likely that we might be in an A, B, C, D, and an E triangle, meaning pushing downward. Or we are, of course, in something much more aggressive toward the downside, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. After three waves up, A, B, C, you got a W, X, and a Y as a wave 2, and you dive deeper in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Horrible. Yep. So I would say Solana is not looking great. Same, I mean, as for Ethereum and Bitcoin, they are looking a little bit much more stronger for the bullish, but Solana not at all, guys. I don't see any signal of strength, unfortunately. So this is regarding Solana. Sui, I would say. So guys, you gotta take the crypto market right now a little bit like how to say like Bitcoin and Ethereum are the strongest, are gonna show, of course, the highest potential of bullish in case something bullish is unfolding, because somehow the market is going only or much more to the strongest coins, of course, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum, because of the lack of confidence right now in the market. So be careful, trade safe again. Now, basically, we are looking also at SOI. SOI did not broke, of course, the area for bullish. Unfortunately, we're still in the triangle. Yeah, we might still be in A, B, C, D, E, same as Solana. A, B, C, D, and a E will push down. Three ways up, three ways down, and then potentially here, in case you're counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I doubt it, it can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in case of bullish. But this is very impulsive, meaning A, B, C still required over there, meaning as a 1, 2. And then we think bullish again. So far, 15-minute chart. This is horrible. I don't have to count it, guys. Of course, it's horrible. It is definitely something corrective. Everything is overlapping. Nothing is impulsive there. So definitely we're still looking for lower at the end. Yeah. So highest probabilities for me still the A, B, C, D, and an E, and then pushing downward. Or if we are in something much more bearish, aggressive again, it can be a potential 1, 2, 3 I would say here, well, I mean, this is all of it as an impulse, as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I cannot really say it's not an ABC. For me, it's very clear ABC, but I'm trying if a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as an impulse, and then wave 2, well, I doubt it. For me, guys, it's much more probability here is that this is a WX and a Y, WX and a wave Y finished here as a zigzag, as you can see. And this means we might have finished the wave C here. Yeah, wave C, A, B, C, D, and a E, and then pushing down. This is the highest probability still, of course. Now, if we take a look at a render, for render as well, render is somehow fine, I would say, is looking fine because this can be something. I'm going to go for hours to see it much better, guys. This can be something as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, but somehow I still doubt it because yeah, a lot of overlapping. Yeah, everywhere. I know that there is an impulsive wave 3, but even here, I don't see so much confidence again in the price. Like with the wave 5, why is not very impulsive? Why is very, very short? Why we dive directly toward the downside? Why we still in a good momentum for bearish? A lot of question of why, right? So we're questioning so much the bullish scenario. And this might be, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again, as I mentioned, but it can be easily a WX and a wave Y, especially that we're still in a momentum downward. We didn't broke yet confirmation for bull. I would like to see this. Yeah, so to confirm a bull run here. So be careful with render. It might still be in this potential diagonal, one more move toward the downside, and then we get a trigger for a bull run and then pushing for higher. Don't forget timing, and timing is very, very essential as well to get here. Yeah, so we still required some time, I would say, internally as well. This is nothing impulsive. This is all corrective, and this is impulsive. Yeah, so the downward side here is very impulsive. So we gotta be careful. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. 4 and a 5 can be there. Yeah, 4, 5, 4, 5. Double 1, 2. Okay. So yeah, we gotta be careful with this. Yep. So that was it for render. Finally, I'm gonna do FET. So for FET as well, interesting aggressive move from FET, and we got lower prices very close to this red zone before we push for higher again for a wave 5. Now, what is very interesting is that this is kind of like very corrective, yes, but somehow we gotta be careful that the market decides to turn this into three waves up, just like separately, like ABC's finished, and then getting like ABC downward. Yeah, so it can do this. The market can do that if it wants to. Now, what is the scenario here on the 4 hour chart? It's horrible. It's an expanding flat, but I think that it might be a W, an X, and a wave Y that it might be unfolding toward the downside still, because expanding a diagonal might be also very, very deep as well. So we have to be careful with it. However, before breaking, of course, this red zone, we cannot think so much bearish, but because we need this red zone, and the wave 2 is already clear that it is long on time, so it is kind of like alternating. And when we see alternation, then we start to think about an impulse. So very likely, yes, that the wave 5 might still be unfolding, but the time and also the fib level is still required. I would say A, B, and a C, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. Now, can this impulse can be like a deeper wave 3? Yes, it can be. But we gotta be careful. If we take the 0.17, it's a red flag. Yep, so that was it for Bitcoin and the altcoins. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Before you leave, make sure to join our private Discord community. There you will get daily updates faster than YouTube, plus exclusive bonus trading signals for the gold, silver, Bitcoin, and stocks. You can also request one special technical analysis every day and get access even to our only members video on YouTube and also on Discord. and stay ahead, of course, with economic and political news that actually moves the market. And of course, we do regular Q&A sessions, so you can get your questions answered directly in the Discord. And of course, if you're serious about leveling your trading, the Discord link is below in the description and in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.